guys, welcome back for another fall nail polish collection review. Today I'm going to be talking about the Dynamic Duality Fall 2024 collection for CND. So they have their Vinyl line, which is their regular nail polish line that's longer lasting, and then you can get these in shellac as well. I love CND shellac polishes. They're so great. They're one of my go-tos if I ever do gel. When do I ever have time for gel? Not very often, but when I do, I really do like CND shellac. It's a really great brand. These were sent me compliments of Beyond Polish. You can buy this collection there and you can use my code GOLARI10 for a discount. I appreciate all of you that purchase polish through my discount, and especially when you tell me, because I know who you are and it just makes me appreciate it even more. So thank you guys so much for that. Before we get into it, we're going to talk about what I'm wearing. I bought this new half zip from Athleta and it's the most gorgeous color green. If you guys know me, green is my favorite color to wear. It's one of my favorite nail polish colors. Of course, I'll wear it in the fall because I love these kind of dusty greens. So I got this cute jacket there. It's kind of hot outside still. I know a lot of you are in a heat wave, and then there's a lot of you are dealing with hurricanes down in Florida. So I'm wishing everybody is safe down there. But over here where we live, it's been a big heat wave, which I know the majority of the country is having too. So this is making me feel like fall, but it's making me feel really hot. We all know it's going to get cold soon. So I'll be glad when I can wear this all day long instead of just in the mornings. On my lips, I'm wearing this Dior Lip Glow in this darker color. I'm not sure what the name is because it's really, really small. I'll link it down below and link the specific one that I have. It's the darker one. It goes on a dark red, but it really is a little bit lighter on the lips. It's just a nice glossy lip gloss that I've been loving. It's not sticky, and so we all know these are pretty popular right now, and I'm loving them too. Okay, so we've got a good balance in this collection. There's 3 shimmery shades and 3 cream ones. I'll talk about what's on my nails as we go through the review, but let's get right into it. This is Aprot, and it's this beautiful peach color with some silver pearly shimmer in it. It's really, really gorgeous. It's like a chrome peach shade. I know those chrome toppers are really popular right now. In fact, I'm really craving like a light sheer pink with chrome, and I think I'm gonna wear that in my next review because the next collection I'm gonna review has a perfect pink polish for it, so I'm going to do that. So be ready for that one when it comes. But this is a gorgeous one that's peach, and so you guys, this is what I'm wearing on my nails. Surprise, surprise, a shimmery shade. I do like shimmer for some polishes, and this one is really stunning. The formula on it is really fantastic too. The brush on these CND Vinyl polishes is so amazing. It's a little bit wider, which I like, and a little bit shorter, and it just applies very nicely, and the formula is really great too. It's pretty much opaque in 2 coats. You might need 3 in some cases with this one, especially depending on how you apply it. Love this color. I think it's fun for fall. I don't have a super tan right now, so it's not giving me a ton of contrast, so I like that a little bit more when it's a little more contrasted. But if you have dark skin, this is gonna look gorgeous on you, and I can find myself pulling this out early summer because I just think it's fun. And I never really think about a peach shade for fall. I think this one is super fun for fall. I think it looks really pretty with this green too, so I really liked this one. I do have some comparisons that I want to share with you. Nothing was really close, but I compared it to Essie Glee for All, and that one's more of a pearly glitter, and it's just slightly peach. Reach New Heights is the closest, but it has more of a golden shimmer, and then Glisten to Your Heart is a shimmery yellow peach. Out of all of these that I'm showing you, this is the one that I like best, and it's quickly became one of my favorite peach pearly shades. They just did it right. Next up is Plantbound, and this one's a really beautiful color green. It's like a softer sage with a little bit of yellow added to it, so it's a little more olive leaning, but not so olive that it looks more yellow. It's kind of in between that, which I really like, and I think this is a fun shade, especially for early fall, or especially when it's really hot and we want to go to fall, but it's not quite fall yet. So this one's really fun for that too. It's got a really fantastic formula. It's a lovely Crelly formula that builds up really nicely in 2 coats. One of my favorite type of formulas. You also might need 3 on this one depending on how you apply it, but I felt like the coverage was pretty good and the formula was pretty buildable. Let's get into comparisons for this one. So I compared it to OPI. This isn't Greenland, and that's a softer, more grayed out green. And then Essie Win Me Over was the closest that I found, but it is a touch darker. And then Essie Told You So is more yellow leaning, so that gives you an idea where this polish sits. But I really did like this one. I tend to reach for ones that are a little bit more grayed out and moody. This time of year, I tend to reach for these more in spring, but I think this one is a really fun color. Then we have Mauve Morphosis, and this is a gorgeous shade. I love these in the fall. All these kind of mauve-y browns with a little bit of purple in it, and I have so many variations of these that we're going to talk about, but this one's really nice, and the formula is really fantastic. It applies lovely in one coat. I always do two, especially for my picture swatches. I can't remember if I showed one in my live swatch, but you'll see that here. But man, it just goes on so nicely. Love this brush so much, especially after reviewing the OPI collection. I just feel like it makes me appreciate nicer brushes a little bit more. Let's talk about how it compares to other polishes, because there's so many polishes like this that have different variations. You have Angora Cardi, which is a little bit more rosy red, and then you have Rooting for You, which is kind of a deeper brown, but it has the same kind of mauve purple in it. What else? You have Merino Cool, which leans a little bit cooler, which is a little bit smoky and a little bit purple. And then I think I need to put a comparison of a lot of these up on here, especially including J from Olive and June, because I didn't do one for that for one of their other ones that they it's not here because I have it over here in my favorites. But anyway, I need to just pull all these out and do a bunch of comparisons and put on Instagram if I have time. Don't I might not get to it, but it just would be really nice to see them all because they're all a little bit different. But I'm going to show you 4 here so you can see these 4 and how different they are. So I compared it to Clothing Optional, and that one is more brown. It's a little bit of a softer shade. And then Rooting for You from Essie is richer, darker, and more brown. One of my absolute favorites. I just love how rich it is and the contrast it gives you, and that's probably why I like it a little bit more than Mauve Morphosis, but I still love Mauve Morphosis. Mauve Morphosis leans a little bit more nude brown instead of Rooting for You, which is a little bit more rich. And then O&J Shacket has a little more gray in it as well, and it's a little bit softer, but that one's beautiful too. So I love all the different variations, but hopefully I'll get around to doing that and just do a bunch of comparisons for you guys, because when I posted that I wore Angora Cardi on Instagram, everyone kind of went crazy over it. And of course that's a cold polish, but they're just all so good. And this one's really good too, and the formula is just fantastic. So of course I liked this one, even though there are quite a few that are pretty similar. Perplexity is this next one, and that is such a cool word. I don't know why, it's kind of fun to say too. I think that's such a fun name, and this one's really, really interesting. I don't have anything quite like this one. It has a true purple base with this gold green shimmer in it. Don't know how to explain that, but it's just gorgeous. And the purple doesn't quite show up when you get it on the nail though. It's definitely more of like a brown gold or a brown green. So it's really interesting, but I did really like it. I thought this is kind of a cool polish for fall. I think you guys are really gonna like this one. I wish the purple showed up a little bit more. I don't know how you would get it to do that, but I like the kind of mysterious purple vibe that's going on in it. So yeah, I didn't do any comparisons for this just because there's a purple from the OPI Nature Strong collection that this made me think of, but that one's really strong purple and it doesn't have this gold, and I pulled it out to do comparisons and I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time because it's really not the same. And then I have some other ones that are just gold, like the new one from OPI that's called Millennium Momentum, I think, something like that, and that one doesn't have that purple base, so it's a little bit different, but when you have them on the nail they kind of look similar. But anyway, this one's quite unique, a little bit different, a little bit moody, grungy, everything that I look for in fall, and so we'll see if I'll reach for it. Tealtric City is next, and this one's really interesting for fall. I think it's kind of fun, especially if you like to wear polishes that are kind of out there, and teal is really fun to wear in fall, so why not a glittery teal if you like glitter? So this might be fun for you. It's got a really strong teal glitter like I mentioned, and then it has this iridescent shift from purple to green, and so it's really interesting. I find it more summery, but I can see you wearing it in the fall. It's got a nice formula. It's almost opaque in one coat, but I feel like these glitters look a little better when you build them up in two. So this one's fun. I won't be reaching for it, but I'm sure there's plenty of you out there that will be reaching for this one. Last we have Take Root, and this one's fantastic, you guys. It's this brown burgundy red wine, shade, and I love to wear these polishes in the fall and the winter. These are one of my favorite types of red that are kind of brown wine leaning, and the formula is really great too. It's a acrylic formula, so it is going to take 2 coats to build up, and I know why I like it because when I pulled out comparisons, all the ones that I felt were pretty close to it are some of my favorites, and let's look at those. So I compared it to Modern Auburn, one of my favorites. It was in my fall favorites video if you caught that I just posted last month or a couple months ago. As you can see, Take Root compared to all of these is a little bit more red, so these are a little bit more brown and more wine. But I kind of like that it's a little bit more red because it'll push me to wear something that's just a little bit more red because I don't wear reds very often. And then I compared it to Opie I Can't Read Without My Lipstick, one of my favorites, and then Full Blast, and you can see those are a little bit more wine leaning than this one. This is a little bit brighter, a little bit softer than those, but it is along the same lines, and of course I'm going to wear it in fall. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, so I'm really liking CND. Let's try and pick my favorites here. I'm probably just going to be picky and pick a couple. Yeah, so I'm going to pick these 3 for my favorites. Probably kind of boring, but sometimes I am pretty traditional and boring. So I'm sorry, there's other nail polish channels that aren't as boring as me. You can check those out too, but these are my favorite picks. So this soft peachy one, which is called Aprot, and the Take Root, which is the reddish wine colored one, and then Mauve Morphosis for the mauve shade. So such fun colors. Maybe I'll get brave and wear this brown one when I'm feeling kind of moody, but the weather needs to get moody. We just need the weather to get moody. So let me know your thoughts down below, what you thought about this collection. And I have more fall collections coming up, and the holiday ones are starting to filter in too. So I'll get those up as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you to those who are supporting me also on my gardening channel, which is Polished Garden. I really appreciate that. Have a good day. We'll see you guys next time.